It's been more than a decade and a half since a single voice quietly changed Disney history, yet fans still can't stop wondering one thing: what if that story was never really finished? The actress behind Princess Tiana has recently sparked fresh conversation after revealing she'd love to stay connected to the character in a completely unexpected way. Instead of simply revisiting the role, she's hinted at something bigger, possibly stepping behind the scenes if the story ever made its way to Broadway. And in a playful twist, she even joked that if the stage version ever happens, she might end up playing Mama Odie instead. But that light-hearted comment carried something deeper, a reminder of how personal this journey still is for her. Because Tiana isn't just another role, it's something she's described as deeply meaningful, almost tied to her own identity as an artist. And that connection didn't end when the film premiered. A couple of years later, she was officially honored as a Disney legend, placing her among a select group of storytellers who helped shape generations. But even with that recognition, she never stepped away from the world that role created for her. Instead, she expanded it. Years later, she surprised fans again by stepping into a completely different creative space, writing children's books. One of her most talked about projects follows Tiana in a new adventure, but with a message that hits far beyond fairy tales. It challenges the idea of perfection and encourages young readers to understand that they are already enough as they are. And what makes that even more personal is that she openly admitted this theme came from her own struggles with perfectionism. That admission changed how many people saw her, not just as a performer but as someone reflecting real-life pressure behind the spotlight. And there was an even more emotional moment during this creative process. She shared that her mother once reminded her through tears that writing had always been her childhood dream, a dream she had nearly forgotten until life brought it back unexpectedly. But she didn't stop there. Another book is now on the way, continuing her mission of reshaping how children see confidence, identity, and self-worth. The message is simple but powerful. You don't need to change who you are to feel like you belong in your own story. And while all of this was unfolding, her stage career was also reaching new heights. She's currently starring in a Broadway production that has earned major award attention, including multiple Tony nominations. Critics have praised its humor, emotional depth, and surprising storytelling, adding yet another strong chapter to her already evolving career. So when you look at everything together, the iconic Disney legacy, the writing journey, and her growing stage success, it raises an interesting thought. Is she simply revisiting old magic or slowly building an entirely new legacy on her own terms? And the answer might not be clear yet, but one thing is certain: her story is still very far from the final act.